Welcome to One Insight. My name is Rich Litvin. I grew up in London and I now live in LA. And this is a podcast for extraordinary top performers. You see, I've coached some of the most successful and talented people on the planet. I see what most people cannot see, and I dare to say what most people wouldn't dare to say. And what I know about success is that on the other side of it, it can actually be lonely. You can feel like more of an imposter the more successful you become. And when you're the most interesting person in the room, you're actually in the wrong room. I coach around insight. Life looks one way, something happens, the world looks different, and your entire world changes. It can happen in an instant. And this podcast is called One Insight because a single insight can change everything. Almost 10 years ago, one of my coaches shared with me a tool that has changed my life. I call it the Manifesto. It's a document that I've been working on for almost 10 years. It's a document that I read to myself, sometimes out loud, almost every morning. It's a document I've shared with almost no one other than a handful of private clients. And at the last intensive, I made a choice. I took a risk to share this out loud, to share my manifesto, the tool I've been working on for almost 10 years that I use to create myself every day. The theme of this next season of podcasts is a created world. Most people live in a reported on world. Life happens to me. Things are challenging. My wife is mean. My boss doesn't like me. And some people live in a created world where whatever happens, I'm going to create how I respond to the world around me. And this is one of the ways, this tool is one of the ways that I've used and worked on myself year after year after year to create myself as the person I've become. It's a never-ending process because the person I am today is someone who's growing into the person I'll be tomorrow. So I shared this at my intensive. You hear me sharing this and I get very moved at the end because I don't normally read this out loud to anybody else. It's a powerful tool. So listen in to how I create myself day after day, week after week, year after year in order to create yourself. And then enjoy this season as I coach people week after week around how they create themselves for what's coming next in their world and in their life. Every day I read this manifesto. It's how I create myself. I don't like to share this in writing because the idea is not that you take this and write them down and go, oh, I like these, I like these. The idea is that you listen, let it flow over you, and then decide what would be on my list. My manifesto. I am Richard J. Litvin. I'm Richard the Lionheart. I'm proud of me. I approve of me. I trust me. I like me. I am enough. I steer the ship. I'm in charge, not in control. I don't take myself so seriously. I'm relaxed and confident, and I know what to do in any situation. Everybody loves me, and everybody wants to be my friend. I am genuinely happy for other people's successes. Let me pause for a moment and tell you that the reason these are on the list, because they're not natural to me. There came a moment, Corinne, when I noticed how I'd be so judgy of people's successes. And I'd try to I know they're not really as successful as that, or they had this help along the way. They're so lucky. It's like, what if I could be genuinely happy for people's success? Well, the only way to make that happen is I speak that into the world. That's who I am. I am my word. I create my future. I create miracles, and I create the space for miracles to occur. I create ripples, and I wait to respond. I coach kings. I'm a powerful man, strong from the inside out. I am stronger and sexier and healthier and fitter today than yesterday. I'm an athlete. I'm consistent. I move my body and I eat consciously every day. That's new as of this week because I sat down with a new personal trainer or on a Zoom call, and he did some work around me around the old ways of being I had around who I am, that when I was a kid, There were the athletes and there was me. You were good at sports or you were not. You could play soccer, which was in England our game as kids, or you couldn't. And I was down here and then there were athletes. And I've had this upper limit around my physicality and sports for years. Well, I'm an athlete. Let me create myself as one. Every morning I wake up and say, I'm an athlete. I'm consistent. I move my body and I eat consciously every day. I walk on the beach in my shorts and I feel proud and confident of my body. Still working on that one, but I'm still speaking it into the world. I have extraordinary decision-making powers and I act decisively. I risk and I even seek disapproval and I try to get thrown out. I set time for play and to be in nature every week. I love learning and I'm brilliant. Money equals service. Money is the most perfect expression of my creativity. I have a system for money and tracking money is fun and energizing. You know why? You know why I say that? Because it didn't used to be. I used to walk into meetings with my bookkeeper and CPA and zone out and get bored and frustrated. So I recreated myself. Looking at the numbers is fun and easy. I can't tell you that meetings with my bookkeeper are the most fun meetings I ever go to, but they're much more energizing than they ever used to be. Why? Because I say so. I bring a sense of relaxed confidence to my relationship because I have nothing to prove to Monique. Still working on that one. I take nothing Monique says seriously because I used to take everything so serious and I'd be crushed when she'd say one thing. I date Monique. I keep my word to Monique. Every day I ask, how can I bring more joy and more fun to our relationship? And if I'm not having fun, what's my part in it? I don't tell my boys how to live. I live fully and I let them watch me do it. And I am ready to meet God. I was at a funeral a few years ago, and at the funeral, the acknowledgement of this man was from the person who gave read some words about him. He said he was a man who lived as if he was ready to meet God. He took care of everything. His kids knew, I can't move now. His kids knew that they loved him, no matter what happened to him. His wife knew that she was loved. The family were taken care of financially. And so I'm still a work in progress, but I speak that into the world every day. I am ready to meet God. For most of human history, it wasn't called coaching, it was called leadership. And it's what I love to do, to coach people, to lead people, and to mess with people's thinking. If you'd like more of this, or if you'd like to learn more about our community of extraordinary top performers, go to richlitvin.com/oneinsight.